Hello everyone, welcome to the GEPAR Connection podcast. I am your host, Jason Sanchez, your CEO at the Association of Realtors here in El Paso, and I am joined by my co-host, none other than Conrad Pickett, who's our 2020 president. And all right, Conrad, we're just going to go right into it, and we're going to ask you for some highlights on our last board meeting, which we had on Friday. And just go right into it. Tell us some of the highlights and some of the takeaways that you saw from the meeting.
Sure. All right, Jason. Well, thanks for having me again. Hopefully this reaches our members and kind of opens the door to new ventures on getting the information out there. That's what it's all about, right? So our meeting was February 28th, Friday. We did start off the meeting on time. We ended on time. That's the whole idea. Few things that we knocked out really quick. We approved the minutes from the last meeting. We got some new applicants for membership this past meeting as well. We did approve those. Every month we have new applicants. I think our membership is growing. I mean, you know the numbers better than I do. Probably anywhere between 20 and 30 new members a month. Yeah. And so we approved those new applicants for membership. We went through the budget and finance. We knocked that out really quick. And then we got a MLS update from Miss Maricela. Some very interesting conversation with that one, don't you think?
Yes.
You coming from the MLS side, you know a lot more about this than really anybody else. Mm-hmm. But the clear cooperation, 8.0 deal, it's happening. Mm-hmm. And we talked about the coming soon, mm-hmm. right? And it's not going to be just a cost of doing business if you violate these,
right.
these terms. They're talking $1,000 up to $5,000. Yeah. So it's going to be very interesting to see what actually happens when we implement that. Coming soon is a big deal, and I encourage any member that has any questions, call the association.
Yeah, and we went into a little bit last month.
We did.
It's something that nationwide, it's being implemented in a lot of different MLSs, mm-hmm. Little by little. There's been a few already that already had it in place even before
Right.
And we've definitely reached out to them. I've used my resources being in the MLS world for so long to get some feedback and some because you don't reinvent the wheel when it comes to these things,
which we need to do
it right.
Yeah.
So, and we did a lot of research. MLS has worked hard, to look into that, and
mm-hmm.
I mean, unfortunately, to enforce these rules, you have to have fines. So,
right.
And the board decided to have a fine system where it's going to scale up, from first offense, second offense, third,
mm-hmm.
and so on.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on brokers. But the thing is everyone is going to have to. We have until May 1st, and there's going to be a lot of education in between.
Good. And I think we're going to be talking about a lot of that once it comes up.
Yeah, and the MLS is really focused on doing their due diligence, and that's first and foremost.
Right.
Educating.
I mean, that's a whole. You could talk hours on that podcast for sure on that conversation. But yeah, so we got that update from Maricela. It's going to be very, very interesting. Clear cooperation 8.0. Mm-hmm. I mean, and it all comes down to fair housing. And yeah, I think we're going to have a lot to talk about. And actually, I'm just thinking about it. Maybe we can get her in here and give her input. As president of MLS. So we got that done, knocked that out, and then we got our committee and task force updates. We had our affiliate ambassador series. Miss Jacqueline Garcia is going to be, attacking that ambassador series. She's already got a lot of things planned, so stay tuned for that. Look up the GEPAR calendar and see what she's got planned for that. Miss Sandra Canamba, the affiliate chair, They're working on something to pair up with Jacqueline on the Ambassador Series, so that after Ambassador Series you can go straight to affiliate and kind of meet and greet some of our affiliates here at the board. So that's going to be very interesting. Bylaw, we didn't have anything updated. We did. I did set up a task force, and that you'll get more information on that. Community investment has a lot of things planned. I'm really excited. And then finally, we got education update from the Chair Claudia Gaitan.
Right.
Education Day is going to be April 17th. It's going to be at the Wyndham Hotel. The Education Committee is providing MCE classes. You get a lunch. With the purchase of the ticket, you'll get your lunch and you'll get MCE credit. It's going to be an awesome event. We highly encourage people to show up. And the really, really cool thing that I got out of that presentation, that update from Galia, is a lot of the time in the past, they've always had a theme, right? Whether it be carnival or, whatever it may be. But this year, they decided to get rid of a theme. There's no theme. It is education. It is a day for education. And the member will benefit from that day. So April 17th, Wyndham Hotel, get your tickets. They have a Eventbrite, right? Yeah,
yes.
They're on Eventbrite. So get those tickets as soon as possible.
And they're sharing it, they're putting it on social media.
Oh yeah, man, it has just gone completely viral within the committee and within the membership. So I really look forward to that.
Now, just so that we get a little bit of color for our members, can you go into a little bit of experiences from your past Education Day?
Yeah,
attendance.
Yeah, I chaired Education Committee. I vice chaired it, and then I chaired it, and it is not easy doing all that, but you have your committee to count on. But we've had Marquis Lemons. I could just name a laundry list of amazing speakers we've had in the past, but it's time out of your day, I get that. But at the end of the day, the member needs to realize they need to invest in themselves, right? And that's the number one takeaway of Education Days and Realtor rallies and events like that the association provides, is that you're investing in yourself, you're investing in your business. And the better thing about that is when you learn something as a realtor, you pass it along to your client. That's very important. And so this year's, I'm very excited to see what they have in store for us.
And like you mentioned, there's a lot of planning that goes behind it.
A lot of planning.
And they take months. Sometimes they already know from the year who they're going to be targeting, and there's a lot of surveys, a lot of feedback that we get from the members when we're putting the programming together. And we've had some pretty prominent speakers in the past, and it's always a day that I've seen. You look at the faces of the people once they're going in and out of these sessions. They're always saying, "Hey, wow, thank you for doing this. I'm getting a lot out of this."
I don't recall the year. I don't recall the year, but they had the FBI there.
Yeah.
And they were talking about identity theft, and they were hacking into people's accounts right there in the room. Don't use Wi-Fi here. Don't use this and that, and you learn. Right? You just learn, and hackers put a little period, in the email. You got to look out for things like that. So now I look out for things like that every email I get, and so little things like that. Yeah,
I remember that year. It was very eye-opening.
Yeah.
And we actually extended. We brought them in after that, talked to them, and we had them do a session. We had a luncheon or something, and they came in, and people's eyes just.
You want to scare somebody? You bring in the FBI, and they're wearing their ties. They're wearing their suits. They're FBI's. Like they are FBI.
But cyber fraud is real. People.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Everybody wants to point fingers, but we all have to take. There's measures. There's different things you can do.
Absolutely, and sooner than later we're going to get into the AI, the artificial intelligence stuff. We got to do something with that as well. But you want to scare somebody, get the FBI in there. But yeah, it's going to be great. You know, we always learn something. Education Day, like I said, it's worth the time. It's worth the ticket. And, you know, the committee works so hard for the members, right? They meet, they make decisions together as a whole, and it's for the membership. So, you know, come out.
Right.
Come out.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we had that. Governmental affairs, you know, as you know, yesterday was Super Tuesday.
Yeah.
Governmental affairs is, you know, they've got a fire lit under them right now.
Right.
They did a really good job endorsing and supporting. They took a look at, you know, of their job description as a committee. They did really good. You know, but they had already put it out, and we got our results. You know, so a lot of the candidates we supported or endorsed won. And you know, we made phone calls and did what we had to do. So governmental affairs did a really great job.
Yeah, I believe 3 out of 4.
Yeah. So they did a really good job. You know, leasing and property management, I really hope, and this is fronted by John Hogan. I'm really looking forward to see what they have again. Just check the GEPAR website, see when their luncheons are. This is more specialty real estate, specialty practice, you know, that we are trying to focus on. Minerva Altava, she is heading Realtor Builder. She's got a really big idea and a very awesome vision as far as Realtor Builder goes, and I'm really excited to see what she has with that. And then 2 big items on the agenda was TREPAC and the YPN. TREPAC, Texas Real Estate Political Action Committee, that is headed by Alex Huereca. They are having their St. Patrick's Day party. This is an awesome event. We've got costume contests, dance contests. Your tickets are your fair share amount. This party is going to be March 12th. The location is very interesting. It's at this new place called 915 Vibes. And it's right on Pebble Hills in Lee Trevino. It's going to be a great event. And, you know, bring your costume, try to win some gift cards. You know, we have broker baskets. We've got all sorts of things planned for the membership. So come out March 12th, 915 Vibes, TREPAC event. And then YPN, headed by our own Cynthia Mendoza. YPN, the Young Professionals Network, is having their white party. Their white party is going to be March 13th. This is at 6 o'clock. This is going to be at Indigo Hotel, and they actually have somebody very important coming. The YPN has a National Association of Realtors Advisory Board, and they invited Miss Rebecca Donatelli, and she's from Cleveland, Ohio, and she will be coming down to El Paso.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she's going to be joining us, and I think it's really important to put us on the map.
Yeah.
More than we already are, but you know, we've got somebody from National Association of Realtor YPN Advisory Board coming down. That means a lot to us.
Yeah.
You know, YPN definitely means a lot to me, and it's going to be an awesome party. And it is named White Party for a reason. It is, you know, white attire. You know, I'll probably be going in black.
Yeah.
But you know, that's just, you know, I don't wear white. But,
Yeah.
you know, we'll figure something out. So March 13th, White Party, Indigo Hotel, YPN. It's going to be awesome.
And I'll just say Cynthia's doing an amazing job.
Yes, and all the chairs are doing an awesome job.
Yeah, and that one, you know, it's very pleasing to me. I know YPN is, a couple of years ago, you know, there was some question on which direction it was going to go.
Right.
But, you know, honestly, you know, from leadership perspective, we go to the different state associations and national. It's not something that's out of the ordinary. It's something you have to constantly work on and incubate. And
Yes.
so it's come a long
Yes.
way. They've done a great job the past couple of years.
Yes,
Very proud
YPN
of
is
them.
easy to forget. It's easy to lose. It's easy to forget. It's, you know, it's hard to keep up, and
So important, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's crucial.
Right. All the past leadership in YPN has done just an amazing job, and Cynthia is just carrying the torch. And I'm really excited because she's ready to pass that torch.
Right.
And the vice chair for YPN, she's ready to take that on.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a great entity, the YPN here. It's just going to build and build and build. It's probably the biggest I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
In the 8 years I've been in leadership position.
Yeah. And you don't have to be young to join, right?
Right. No, young does not mean age. Young is young in the business, and we like to. The YPNers, we like to call it your professional network, not young professional network,
Yeah.
We like to call it your, in the business 5 years or less, come on. Come on down, because you need to meet people, you need to network, you need to do that. So you're absolutely right. Young does not mean, we don't put a stamp on your age there, so.
No, absolutely crucial committee there. I think that's the committee that most associations are going to look to find their leadership, find their new people that are going to be coming up. And you mentioned committees and the importance of all the committees and how well they're doing. I just kind of want you to go a little bit back to TREPAC.
Sure.
And if you could just tell our listeners a little bit more on why the importance of TREPAC. So going to an event is great, but what's in it for them? Why should they go? Why should they invest in TREPAC?
Right. What is the idea? Yeah, I get that. Well, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of the things we are able to do as realtors, as independent contractors, if it wasn't for our political action committee. We give funds to back candidates, to back bills, laws, support, endorse, whatever it may be. My number one example is real estate transfer tax in the state of Texas. TREPAC backed I'm trying to think of the word, very political, a constitutional amendment. That's the word. It's a constitutional amendment, which bans the real estate transfer tax in Texas forever. And if it wasn't for TREPAC, the property owner would have to pay a sales tax to the state of whatever number the state came up with. And thanks to the membership that, gave funds to TREPAC and TREPAC's, lobbyists and working with the legislation, thanks to that, the constitutional amendment is that there will never be a real estate transfer tax in the state of Texas. And what TREPAC is about, never. Right, it's a constitutional amendment. And the thing about that is, TREPAC is private property rights. That's what it is. It's protecting private property rights. That's it.
That's in a nutshell.
Right, the consumer, yeah. I mean, oh my God, I could go on and on and on about what they have done and what they support, but, real estate transfer tax, little things, that's the big thing. And then here's my scope. So you have that constitutional amendment, and that's the big item. And then you go small, municipally. Our open house signs, right? If it wasn't for TREPAC, we probably wouldn't be able to put an open house sign on the corner of a street on a Saturday and Sunday when we have open house. The city ordinances wanted to keep us from doing that, and they did for a while. And then we got involved. The Realtor Party got involved, and we went to the municipalities and we said, look, this is our livelihood. We can't do this. So my scope is TREPAC supports the realtor for open house signs to have on the corner of a street on Saturday and Sunday, and all the way up to a constitutional amendment in the legislation.
Right.
I mean, it's just huge. It's huge. And so the impact is great. Why support? It's our livelihood.
Yes. Definitely.
That's it.
Definitely.
You know, and the other thing is, the livelihood of the realtor depends on the consumer, and so with protecting my rights as a realtor and then protecting private property rights to a consumer, it's a full circle.
Right.
So that's my tree pack.
Yeah.
Spiel.
Yeah, and I think
can't get over it.
Obviously, it's part of the leadership's duty, to go and speak to offices and talk to different brokers about it, and
absolutely,
and something that comes to in my mind is these wins may have been a little bit while back, but we just had a legislative session, and I believe at our state, Texas Realtors had over a dozen wins that were related to private property rights.
Right. Yeah.
And I think in a recent meeting that I was in, and you were in there at the YP and at winter meetings, we had a presentation from a tree pack trustee, and he went over really what you're saving. And I think a couple of years ago it was about $3,000 a year. Now it's up to over $9,000 a year that the average realtor is saving because of these legislative wins at every level.
And the vehicle tax and all that. I mean, we could go on and on.
Even national. I remember what they've done with the flood insurance.
Right. When
the government was shut down.
Right.
They still got an extension on that. And that's at the national level. That's our pack. So.
Yep. I mean, it goes on and one other really quick one for tree pack, agriculturally zoned properties. Before, I think, I might be wrong, but I think it was 2 legislations ago, we had agriculturally zoned properties could not get a home equity loan. Yes, they could get a cash out loan, big deal, higher interests, all that. But the legislation did pass. If you are agriculturally zoned, you can get a home equity loan using your property as collateral. And that was one of the items on the list that we talked about at the legislative meetings. And guess what? Now agriculturally zoned homeowners can get home equity loans. Does that affect El Paso? Absolutely. Right? The Valley, Clint, Canutillo, Socorro. We do have agriculturally zoned properties that it does affect.
Right.
So little things like that. I mean, I say little things, but things like that, it affects everybody.
Right.
It affects everybody. So invest in tree pack.
Exactly.
Invest in tree pack. That's pretty much the updates. We did go to winter meeting this past month in Austin, and a lot of education. Got scared half to death on artificial intelligence. We learned a lot, but one of the things that really I need to discuss and commend on is Scott Kessner is a local broker here in El Paso, and he is the TREC commissioner now. And you were there, we were all there. Scott won the Texas Realtor of the Year award for 2019, and it was quite a feat.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was at the Stars reception. He had no idea. He had no idea. Everybody couldn't believe. Nobody could believe he.
But me and you talked to him. Right after that, and you didn't know.
And it was hard to believe that he didn't know about it, but they announced his name, and his family got up, and his granddaughter stole the show. But it was just very humbling and honoring to be from El Paso to recognize Scott as 2019 Texas Realtor of the Year. It's amazing. It's he's a great mentor for any leader in a leadership role.
It's second only ever.
Yeah.
To become
Texas
Realtor of the Year.
Yeah, from El Paso. Yeah. And so it's a big feat. We're super proud. So Scott, congratulations. And if anybody out there's listening, or whoever's listening, when you see Scott out there, make sure to give him a congratulations. I mean, we have over 130,000 members in Texas, and he got it.
Yeah, he did. He did. Congratulations, Scott, again.
Congrats. But that's pretty much it. After the winter meeting, everybody gave out the reporting forms, and if anybody's interested in that, that's definitely for you to ask for, because we go on these trips for you to learn and to pass on information. So if there's anything that we can help with that, please reach out to Jason or myself, and we can get you some information and updates on what's going on at the state level. And then once we get to the national level, again, we're more than happy to share the education and the information that we gain from those trips.
So one of the things that just came into my mind right now is one of the things that we're working on, which is the strategic plan. So we've mentioned a lot about committees. If you could just kind of go into what the work was behind that, and getting to where we're going, and some of the conversations and some of the goals, some of the because we're getting ready to get that passed and approved. We're just going through the process of that.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're getting our strategic plan finalized, and we did a lot of work on it. We did 2 days? 2 days we worked on the strategic plan. Again, this is for the membership. This is for you, because we give this to the committees, and it has to fall under those pillars of the strategic plan. And so what we did was we assigned tasks. So we get the strategic plan, and we literally went bullet for bullet for bullet, and we assigned the task of that bullet point in the strategic plan to a committee. And so what happens is the committee has a meeting, and they get a copy of those tasks, and whatever decision is made, whatever their conversation is that day at a meeting, they have those tasks and that strategic plan to go back to in order to make sure that they're going in the right direction. And so that's what we did. We knocked out. We should have. We should have it approved by this next board meeting, and I will definitely be happy to discuss that. Advocacy, professional development, member outreach. We made MLS we kind of highlighted MLS due to the fact that it's, number one in the eyes of the member, benefit, and we are going to look at that, but MLS isn't everything. We have education and benefits and things like that. But that's what we did, and it worked out.
And so much goes into it. I mean, we did a survey. We polled over 250, I believe, agents, and we got a lot of feedback. And that's really the lifeblood behind, when they get that feedback, we go over it, like you said, in detail, every little aspect of that survey, and we just come up with the plan. And this is really what drives the associations a year and moving forward. A lot of people, I think, they think, well, there's a president just kind of, does his thing, right?
Yeah, that's not what we're doing this year.
We follow the strategic plan.
We are not doing that.
And once it's out, people are going to see it a lot. We're pushing it out, and it's just it's a small document.
It's a small document, but it holds so much within it.
It's the direction of which.
And that's why we worked our butts off for 2 days. It's for the member, for the committee to make sure that they're doing right by the member.
Yeah.
And
it's really our map.
Well, yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah, there you go. It's a map. It's a path, And that's the thing that we really discussed during that time was like, okay, get rid of whatever you think of the association, right? Because I don't know if you remember this or not, but when I introduced Travis and Mike from Texas Realtors, I told the committee leaders, I said, forget this is the 104th year of the association. Pretend this is the first year of the association. What are our goals, right? What is the strategic plan? What are we here for? And I think that opened a lot of eyes to the people attending, and we did a really great job. We did a really great job. So hoping next board of directors meeting it's knocked out and it's approved, and we get this out to membership.
Right. Now being that you're the president. Some of the things that you do. I mean, you teach.
Yes,
right?
sir.
Being that you do teach, there's a lot of basics that go into real estate.
Yes, sir.
That you go into, and different aspects of real estate that you teach.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the big things that I've been hearing, and you have, we just came back from a conference, but every day I hear something on professionalism, or ethics.
Oh, yeah.
And we've talked a lot about the importance of, brokers being involved. What would be your message or something that you'd want to say to brokers, when it comes to professionalism?
Listen, and, I can say it, just, it helps sometimes when you shut up and listen, listen to your agents, listen to other brokers. Here's the other thing, listen to the association. Mm-hmm. I get it. Brokers want agents to work. They want them out there hustling. I get it. But the association is providing so much information towards professionalism and ethics. Give us a chance. Mm-hmm. Listen. Listen to your association, because we are the ones, and I hate saying we, but leadership and the board of directors are the ones that are trying to get this out there. We are the ones that hear about the ethics and professionalism complaints. So, we are providing the education, the tools, everything you need to have a professional and ethical agent. Mm-hmm. We're doing that. Right. So please, give the association a chance. Listen to the things we provide, our weekly updates, our education classes. I mean, that's what I would tell them. And a lot of the time I hear in class, well, my broker doesn't do that. My broker doesn't do it. That's fine. Right. I get that. That's fine. That's the way they do business. Mm-hmm. But give us a chance.
Right.
Give us a chance.
Along that same vein, and talking about brokers and professionalism, one of the things that, because we get together, that's why we haven't really finalized the plan yet, the strategic plan, mm-hmm. but, we have, it's executive, and we have committee chairs that help us out with that.
Right.
And as we were going through these tasks, one of the things that really came up was the National Association program, which mm-hmm. is the Commitment to Excellence program.
Right.
And I think that's one of the initiatives that we added, and it's very much hinges on the broker participation.
Correct.
To get their agents involved.
Correct.
Has competency levels and on everything, law, ethics, professionalism, real estate, general real estate practices, anything.
Right.
Is really what that encompasses. That's going to be real important.
Yeah.
For us, and we're going to be reaching out to the brokers and getting them, to get at least started with it, mm-hmm. getting their agents started, mm-hmm. and it's just an ongoing thing that's going to be completely. Changed as much as possible. There's, at my level, my peers are working on it. National leadership's working on state leadership. Everybody in the industry is working on, mm-hmm. Perfecting this.
Yeah.
And it's, something that, you want to start. I did talk to the orientation.
Right.
Students.
Right.
That were in the class today, and
awesome.
I told them the importance of it. And
awesome.
I had them, I said, hey, write down this website.
Right.
And, get started. It's easy. And, it's interactive, too.
Yeah.
They even won an award on how interactive it is. So,
right. And the Commitment to Excellence, mm-hmm. C2EX,
C2EX.realtor.
Yes, okay, there you go, C2EX.realtor.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where to start.
Yeah.
It's a start,
mm-hmm.
And the other thing is, you get
it's
these.
Free too.
Yeah, right. It's free. Let's emphasize that. Free, but it's it brings you back to your roots.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it as well. Because even morally, you know what I mean. It could be ethics and professionalism, but I'll be the one to say even morally it'll bring some agents back. That's why I love teaching so much, is because I relearn things. And C2EX brings you back to that professionalism and ethics training that You know, you kind of go to the classroom and you're like, oh, great, okay, I'm gonna be here for 4 hours or 8 hours or whatever, you know. But when you take that commitment to excellence, you're kind of eye-opening.
And the cool thing is it's all aspects.
Oh yeah.
Law, everything.
Oh yeah, it's everything.
And it does have, when you go into each module, there's competency levels, so, and you kind of just
And
grow.
tests, yeah, and
As
then
you go, you like level up.
yeah, and then or not, and you might get upset at yourself for not. And but yeah, so that's the good thing too, is that you are monitoring where you're at.
Career.
Yeah, I mean you're monitoring yourself, so
That's right.
that's the way to do it.
Right.
That's the way to do it.
So what other takeaways would you have for the members out there, you know, before we
You know,
sign off here?
I guess if you know any complaints, call Jason. Anything positive, call me. No, you know, again,
Had to get that out there, right?
Yeah, right. No, I just really want to encourage the membership to get involved. You know, I might be a broken record when I say that, but get involved, ask questions. You know, don't keep your mouth shut. You know, I tell students, if you have a question, raise your hand and ask it, because you know 60% of the time somebody else in the room has the exact same question. No such thing as a dumb question or concern, and so ask. You know, my thing is transparency, right? Rising up and finding new leadership. So you're curious about how the association works, how its leadership works, you know, the levels and all that, ask. Talk to me, talk to you, Jason, or you know, really anybody here at the association. Your staff is amazing liaisons. And so, you know, again, don't keep your mouth shut, ask questions, you know, raise concerns, because we cannot proceed, we cannot do things for you if we don't know what's going on. We need to hear what's going on out there, you know. And if something's going on that we need to take a really close look at under a microscope, we will, and we'll consider it. So get involved. Number one, get involved. It's going to benefit your business, your network, all that. And then again, ask questions. Transparency is key. There is no secret handshake here. You know, we are an open door. We have an open door policy, is what I call it. You know, this building is whose, right?
Yeah,
it's the members, right? You know, come down here, check it out. You know, we got a new cleaning crew, right? I mean, come check it out. It's a beautiful building, right off the gateway. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful buildings in this little corridor. You know, come check it out. Ask some questions. Jason's here. You know, I'm available. And, you know, again, we're here for the membership, so raise concerns. Yeah, don't be quiet.
Staff's always friendly. And,
yeah.
You know, open to hearing you. And
absolutely.
Getting into your, you know, issues, concerns, or just to help.
Absolutely.
You know, crucial takeaways, you know, essential to what we do here. And, you know, so really appreciate all the takeaways.
Yes.
Well, we're pretty much wrapping up the show. This has been the GEPAR Connection. Tune again next month, where we're going to have you know, more, hopefully more special speakers and guests, and more highlights and spotlights. So till next time, everyone, we're out of here.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.